Welcome to a journey of living with intention. And if you're like me, it's really easy to jump back into survival mode. Hi, I'm Crystal for CrystyleCouture. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do a little talking when I take out this hair because it's time. I was sick this week, so now we're taking out today while we do a little chatting. Living with intention is like a big buzzword, especially when it comes down to certain times of year. But the reality is it's a lot harder than people make it seem. It's really easy for you to jump back into your norms, jump back into your old behaviors, old patterns. But that's not what we're trying to do. Oh, I've been trying to take this out forever. As a single mom, living with intention is a lot harder because your life isn't 100% your own. As many parents have figured out, once you have children, your life kind of belongs to them until you figure it out, until they get a little older. I also feel like as moms, especially as single moms, we're a part of like the forgotten, maybe I should get a comb. As single moms, I feel like we're a part of the forgotten group, especially if you're in that mid section of single moms where you have a decent job, you make okay money, because survival mode is like our #1 go-to. With all the inflation, with all the terrible things going on in the world, we have kind of fallen behind because we're going to work every day, we're managing kids, managing the household, and living in pure survival mode. Not really having a chance to be like, oh, I'm gonna go and do this, I'm gonna plan this. The only time you really get a chance to think to yourself is those moments that you steal away to be by yourself. But it doesn't stop us from trying to live with intention. Being intentional about your daily activities, being intentional about what things you allow into your life and what things you watch, listen to, that is about living with intention to me. And even if you're not a single mom, if you're just a regular adult trying to adult in this world, adulting sucks. Living with intention is sometimes hard. Trying to make sure you get everything done for everybody else without totally exhausting yourself in the process. If you work a 9-to-5 job, especially like healthcare like me, it could be so exhausting. Healthcare has become to me like the Wild Wild West at this point. You've got all types of different people. Half the people have no clue how healthcare works. They just know I got insurance. Insurance don't pay for nothing. And then you got the side of people who are about to realize that half their insurance stuff is going to get cut and they're not going to be happy at all with it. Ooh, really? This all the hair? I cut these a little shorter. Whether single mom or not, whether healthcare worker, whether doctor, whether nurse, whether anybody, I want you to challenge you to live with intention. Let's start today. We're going to start together. This is a journey that we're all going to be on together because I need it as well. I've been working on it. And the reason why living with intention is so hard is because even though your mindset may change to where you're living with intention in your mindset, your situation may not be totally keeping up. And that's the challenge. That's where you got to everyday wake up and say, hey, I am this, I am blank, I am this, and keep going even though the world is telling you all kinds of crazy stuff. Your situation's telling you crazy stuff. That bank account, the math ain't mathing. So let's make a pact right here, right now, that we're going to not only live with intention, but we're going to go after all the things that we want for sure. And every decision that we make is based on the things that we actually want, not based on being in survival mode. Agreed? Now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about what we actually want. What do we actually want for our life? As a woman, as a black woman, freedom to move as I please, do as I please, freedom to just be, freedom to have peace, which again sounds simple. It's not, because true freedom is not the confines of a house or apartment or even having wealth. True freedom is being able to do as you please, move as you please. You can't do that when you're locked down with jobs, houses, and responsibilities, or when you're weighed down by a lot of stuff. Like half of y'all own so much belongings, you couldn't get up and move or do anything if you wanted to because of all your stuff. So that's a part of it. In order to gain real freedom, gotta get rid of some of the stuff. And because we live with intention, we gotta make sure that what we purchase and what we buy actually fulfills this purpose and not just adds to the bulk of stuff that we own. One of my goals for 2025 is to decrease my object that I own by 50%. Which is going to be interesting. I could easily say I can get rid of like 25% of my stuff. That's easy. I think the hard things for me to let go will probably be the books and maybe some of the clothes. Because I think the clothes are going to get easier to get rid of once I start pulling out what's actually quality material versus what's not. By decreasing the stuff, we're making ourselves lighter, weightless even, and then we can have more freedom because we're lighter. Less is liberation. That is basically going to be one of my themes going forward. Trying to own less. Does that mean not dressing cute or not being a minimalist? No, just means just owning less in general. I prefer not to think that much into it, just having less stuff. Now in theory, if we're owning less, spending less, we should have more money, right? No, absolutely not, because everything else has gone up. Meanwhile, your paycheck has stayed the same. We're going to try to get some of the finances under control. We're going to do it by figuring out ways to earn more money, but not getting a second job, because you're not actually earning more money than your second job. You're just getting a second job and trading your time for money. We want to do the opposite. We want to have money and time. We gotta figure out how to get our money a little bit more flexible. I think that's the word I want to use. So whatever career we have now might not be the career that we need on the next journey, because that career is not very flexible. In order for me to, as a physical therapist, in order for me to make money, I have to be in the clinic treating patients. That's not flexible. I can't work from anywhere on earth. I can't work from a beach. Nope, I have to be in the clinic treating patients. So therefore, that's not a flexible job, which means we got to find a job that's more flexible or create more flexibility in our income. So that's going to be a journey itself, figuring out career changes or whatnot. So think about that for yourself. Does your career allow you flexibility? Can you work from anywhere? If you can, that's great. You may just have to ask your boss, say, hey, I want to work from home now, or hey, I want to work from Bali. If they say yeah, then you're good to go. Keep your same pay. But if they say no, then it's time for you to think outside the box, which is okay, because we're living with intention. So we're going to think as we go and figure out some other career opportunities for us. Look at what we're good at, what we're not good at, what we like to do, what we don't like to do, and figure out how we can make some money off that. So we've talked about getting rid of some of the objects, flexibility with the job. Oh, now the hardest part. Well, to me, I think the hardest part, especially for women, especially for mothers, especially for single mothers, that's saying no. Saying no to anything that does not serve you. Saying no to anything that does not serve their journey. Saying no that does not serve living with intention. Oh, Crystal, can you volunteer to do? No. Are you available to do? No. Side note, if you put your phone do not disturb, a lot of people stop calling. It's a great feeling. You should try it. It'll make you feel great. They really don't want nothing anyway. They just be calling, but they don't want anything from you. So once you say no to everything, to a lot of things, you'll be able to say yes to yourself a lot more. Yes to writing in your journal and planning out your escape route from the job. Yes to reading that self-help book that you want to read. You won't have time for any of that if you're running around doing everybody else's bidding and not living with intention. So yes, we're saying no a lot. And if you don't like a lot of, controversy, or if you don't want to be aggressive, or gosh, what's the word? Non-confrontational, then just don't answer the phone. They'll get the point and stop calling eventually. I hope you're enjoying the video, but I've noticed that over 90% of you that watch my content are not subscribed. So it would really help me reach more of you if you would hit that subscribe button. Thank you so very, very much. Now let's get back to the video. Our wellness. In addition to saying no, you're going to be saying a lot of yes to yourself. Your wellness needs to be your first priority. Stop eating stuff that's not good for you, period. Wellness over everything. Stop drinking sodas. You might need to put table alcohol too, because it's not good for you either. But really prioritizing your wellness. Make sure you're moving every single day, which again is hard when you are running the street, dealing with kids, dealing with families, dealing with job stuff. You got to make sure you're moving every day, at least 45 minutes. Even if it's just like a quick stretching session, something. Watching what you're putting in your body and on your body. That includes the fabrics, guys. The fabrics. Another thing we have to prioritize when living with intention is our mindset. So reading the books, actually taking the time, because you remember you've said no to a lot of things. So now you can take the time to read the books, learn, take notes, and put into actual action. Because that's a part of this journey. You don't just wake up and be like, oh, this is great. I'm in a new life that I just created out of nowhere. No, it's a step-by-step process. It takes work, and it will take every step of the way of you putting in the mindset work, reading the self-help books, actually understanding the concepts, practicing them and putting them into fruition. Into fruition? That is not what I want to say. Practicing them and putting them into can't even speak all of a sudden. Putting the lesson into your daily, day-to-day life. Probably means you got to journal a little bit more to get your thoughts down. And I'm telling you right now, journaling for me this year, I thought I was going to do so much better with it. Epic fail on the journaling. I think I journaled like once every 2-3 weeks to go ahead and get that together and try to do a daily journal. I might need to schedule into the day, like wake up early and do it in the morning, because doing stuff before bed doesn't really work out for me. I'm much more of a morning person. I think I got the first row out. I really thought this was going to be done a lot faster than this. So the reason I was really disappointed in myself about the journaling this year is because with journaling you can reflect back on the year past. I don't have that much to reflect on because I didn't journal as much as I should have. So note to self, we're journaling now because we're going through this journey together, and we're going to reflect on how we felt during different times. So let's see, we're journaling, we're reading, we're saying no, we're prioritizing our wellness, which is probably the hardest part, because I feel like a lot of times that everything in this country is trying to kill us at this point. And you have to be really, really, really intentional about what you put in your body and on your body. So I guess now the only thing that's left is the how. Every single day, that's the how. Every single day you're gonna do a assessment at the end of the day on how it went, what you did towards living with intention, and what you accomplished that day. Maybe I should write write that down. I guess that would be in the journaling too. It would be what we did that day, what we accomplished that day, any ideas we have for the next day. Because we don't want to do too much too fast. Then you get overwhelmed and you end up not doing anything. That's one way to track it. We're going to be tracking everything in our journal anyway, because we're going to be reading and writing in our journal every day. So we won't have to make like anything separate. Just write it all down as it comes to you. During those times where you're by yourself, you don't have to make it a virtual thing like, oh, I'm going to do it this time, that time. Just do it every day. As for me, part of my journey with living with intention is to become a digital nomad. I think it's time. I went from school to work, had small kids, raised them by myself, did everything. Now I think it's time for me to actually travel and see the world and experience some other cultures. As a first American born from an immigrant family, things are a little different. We see things differently. My family's from Jamaica originally, and most of them live in New York, and some live in Florida and Texas. I think I'm ready to travel and see what the rest of the world has to offer me. What do you think? Let me know in the comments if you're ready to travel and just start seeing what else the world has to offer. Because I know there's a lot more than what we've been told for sure. In order to do those things, you got to live with intention. You got to start making the choices now. I'm not going to wake up tomorrow and be able to get rid of all this stuff and travel the world. And that's an absolute no. But I will be able to if I do the planning, which we're going to do on this journey. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you are so that you can be a part of the journey, go on the journey with me and make your own journey so we can do this together. I'll wait. Thanks. Don't forget to turn on notifications too so you know when I post new videos. I know I'm not the only person watching House Hunters International wide-eyed like, ooh, I want to go there. Ooh, I want to go there. Digital nomad. Also known as a hobo. Also known as a gypsy. Also known as home will be wherever my heart is. And I always have my kiddos. They'll be everywhere as well because they're in college by that time. In order for us to even start that process, we've got to start living with intention. Now, instead of me just sitting on this video and rattling for another hour or two and let you guys know that we are living with intention from this point forward, I will see you on my next video. I'll make sure I put some clips of what my hair looks like when I take it out because I thought it was going to be faster than this, but apparently that's not the case. I'm moving quite slow and I thought I was going to be able to get this out in like 20 minutes. It'll probably be more like 2 hours. I'll keep you posted on the time and I'll see you guys soon.
Don't deny that I could use some company. Perfume stuck on my shirt, and there's an empty left in my bed. I don't know about you, I'd put you first. I bought some new flowers, they're all dead. First you are in, then you are out, like snow in the spring. I just want your time.